Welcome to Suburban Death Metal Dad Bonus Tracks episode 125. Why do you hate these albums?
Price tag on those lame things. You know, don't make me say it.
Excuse me, do you work here?
Yes.
Can you tell me where the lima beans are, please?
Aisle 3.
Thank you.
Alright, so in this episode I have 10 albums here. Ones that I think maybe a lot of metal fans don't like, and maybe with good reason, but I do like these albums. Not saying they're masterpieces or I like every song on here, but overall I do like these albums, but I think they're ones that probably a good bit of people into extreme music, especially death metal, maybe don't like these albums so much. So let's see. Alright, the first one I've got here is from 2013. And this band is definitely hit or miss with albums, and this is one that's definitely rated pretty low, but for whatever reason I happen to like it. Talking about Flotsam and Jetsam, Ugly Noise, and you know, it's definitely softer in spots, but overall, like, I think the songwriting is good, and just the songs, you know, a good bit of the songs on here I think are pretty catchy and I like them. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. Next on the list here, the album's from 2000, and it was definitely a left turn for the band, but I was into it. You know, not every song, but overall I think it's a pretty cool album. Talking about Mayhem, Grand Declaration of War, and for me it's kind of like Mayhem through a Voivod filter, and I think it's a pretty cool album. Alright, the next one is one that I have talked about before. I think most of these albums I'm going to talk about today I have not brought up, but this one I definitely have. Talking about 2002's Catch-22 from Hypocrisy, and it's definitely different. It's unlike anything in their catalog, but I think there's a lot of great songs on this album. There's some I don't like as much, but overall it's actually one of my favorites from the band. Alright, next one up is from 1999 and one of my favorite bands, but let's say the 90s aren't the most popular era for this band, but I actually like a lot of the music that they put out during this time, and I'm talking about Endorama from Creator. You know, kind of their goth phase, but overall still a lot of great songs on here, and you know, I don't mind the goth vibe. It's not really my thing, but like I said, it's just a good album, and you know, they got Tommy from Corner on lead guitar. It's one that I think shouldn't be overlooked. Alright, next one on the list here is from 2000, and when I first heard it I definitely did not like it. It's one that I came back to years later, gave it another chance, and actually do like quite a few songs on here, and it's pretty much the last album from the band that I do like, and I'm talking about Clayman by In Flames. Like I said, initially didn't like it, and there's some songs in here I don't care for, some of the singing, but there's definitely some really good songs on here, at least in my opinion. Alright, this next one came out when I was in high school in 1992, and when I first heard it, I think it was a music video that they put out. I liked it. It was a little bit different than anything I was listening to, you know, being pretty much like full-on death metal, still in the thrash metal. But, you know, I do like this. It's really primarily the only one I like from the band, and I don't like anything from the solo artist, but I'm talking about White Zombie, Los Exorcisto, and yeah, it's just a cool album, pretty cool vibe. Like I said, a bit different from anything else I like, but I do like this one. Alright, next one is also from 1992. And when this band started getting popular, I definitely didn't like it, and primarily the fans, I would say, are probably the most annoying part of this band. And like I said, 1992, really into death metal and stuff, and you know, talking about Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, and definitely didn't win me over right away, but I would say it was the song This Love. They released a video for that, and you know, I liked the song. I didn't like that I liked it. I kind of, you know, wished I didn't. You know, wasn't like openly admitting how much I like this band. It was more like a private thing, but I mean, nowadays I really don't care about that kind of thing. But yeah, I think, you know, Pantera does have a lot of good songs. Not, you know, big fan of everything, but one to check out, I would say, if you can get past the whole bro metal thing and all that stuff. Alright, this next one is from 2003, and I think when the band put this out, it was pretty divisive. Because they were known for, you know, mostly being a metal band, although they definitely had some progressive leanings. But when they put this one out, it's basically like a progressive rock band type sound, and like I said, maybe a lot of the fans of the band didn't like it so much, but I really did for some reason, talking about Opeth, Damnation. Alright, next one up here is from 1994, and this was the band definitely moving further away from their thrash roots, but I still think there's a lot of good songs on this album, and I'll definitely stand by that. I'm talking about Megadeth, Euthanasia. So, like I said, not the hardest hitting Megadeth album by any means, but I think the songwriting is still really good on this one. Alright, last one on the list here, also from 1994. And I believe the first time I heard them was when they opened for Napalm Death on a US tour. And I really like this album. I think it's their best one, their debut. And there's some other good stuff in their catalog, but for the most part, not really interested or just not into it. Talking about Machine Head and their debut, Burn My Eyes. Definitely a cool album in my opinion.
Excuse me, you said the lima beans were in aisle 3 and they weren't.
And
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.